Today we will be dealing about instruments used for powder size reduction. So the contents are introduction, methods of size reduction, mechanisms of size reduction, and then conclusion. So size reduction is a process of reducing the particle size of a substance to a finer state of subdivision to smaller pieces, to coarse particles or to powder. Comminution and grinding are the synonym terms used for the process of size reduction. When the particle size of solids is reduced by mechanical means, it is known as milling. So very rarely the materials to be used in pharmaceutical formulation exist in the optimal size. Therefore, majority of them will have to be reduced to desired size at one stage or the other during the formulation of a dosage form. Large number of processes which are used in size reduction. Example: cutting, chopping, crushing, grinding, milling, micronizing, and equipment employed. The selection of an equipment depends on the properties of the material to be reduced, initial particle size, and the degree of size reduction required. So powders are the solid dosage form of medicaments which are meant for both internal and external use. So as I have mentioned, size reduction includes reducing the particle size of a substance into a finer state of subdivision into smaller pieces, coarse particles in powder, and some of the synonyms are comminution, grinding, milling, etc. And the process in size reduction are cutting, chopping, milling, micronizing, trituration, and it depends on the type of equipment employed. So selection of the equipment depends on the material to be reduced and the initial particle size and the degree of size reduction required. So methods of size reduction are enumerated as follows. First one is slicing and cutting. The processes such as slicing and cutting, bruising and contusion, rasping or grating, chopping and grinding are less important today than they were in past. Nowadays, manufacturers use very well developed machines by which powders of desired degree of fineness can be obtained. So certain vegetable drugs like stems, roots, barks, fruits and seeds may require preliminary size reduction. Therefore, the are used. I'll enumerate them one by one. First one is slicing and cutting. So slicing and cutting may be done with a sharp knife, a pair of scissors, a root cutter or any other sharp instrument, transverse or longitudinal direction. And this method is usually employed to hasten the drying of crude vegetable drugs such as leaves and roots, and for cutting the drugs on large scale, a cutter mill is used. So a cutter mill is fitted with two types of knife, that is stationary and rotating. The stationary knives are mounted in the casing of the machine, and rotating knives are attached to a rotor which rotates at high speed. The upper part is attached with a hooper, and the lower part of the machine a screen of desired size is attached. The material to be reduced in size is put into the hooper and reduced material is collected from the screen. So this method is used to obtain a coarse degree of size reduction of soft material such as roots and peels before its extraction. So the parts are stationary and rotating knife, hooper and screen, and the use is to obtain size reduction of soft material. Moving on to the next one, that is bruising or contusion. It is a process in which the particle size of the drug is reduced by striking heavy blows in succession. For this purpose, ordinary porcelain pestle and mortar or steel pestle and mortar may be used. Porcelain pestle and mortar should not be used for drugs containing acidic constituents, and steel pestle and mortar should not be used for drugs containing tannins. Only large-scale roller mill is used. So moving on to the next one, that is roller mill. Mill consists of two equal sized rolls made up of stone or metal with an between them to control the size of the product. Generally, one roll is driven mechanically whereas the other rotates free. The material to be bruised or crushed is dropped from a hopper into the gap, and the speed with which the roller rotates and the gap between the rollers determine the particle size of the material to be crushed, which is adjusted very easily. The rolls, varying from a few centimeters to a meter or more in diameter, are available, and the roller mill is used for cracking the seeds before extraction of fixed oils or for bruising the soft tissues in order to penetrate easily, thus facilitating the extraction of active constituents. Next one is rasping or grating. It is a process in which the soft woody drugs or materials are thinly cut into a transverse direction, which can be easily separated from each other and broken into small pieces. Rasping may be done by means of a saw, and for a large scale work, a sawmill may be used. So this process is used for a few drugs such as cocoa butter, quassia wood, and certain waxes and soaps. Next one is grinding. So it's a process in which the substance are reduced into coarse particles or fine particles, and on small scale crystalline substances are usually reduced to a fine powder. So this process is also known as trituration. Small quantities of brittle and dried drugs such as aloe, catechu, coriander, and certain may be reduced to a fine powder in mortar. So size reduction may be divided into two general categories, that is manual size reduction and mechanical size reduction. And the mechanism of size reduction includes cutting, compression, impact, and attrition. So under this cutting, during this process, they make small pieces by means of a sharp blade or any other sharp instrument, and immediately is crushed by application of pressure with a suitable device. And in case of impact, during impact, the material, which is more or less stationary, is hit by an object moving at a high speed, or the moving particle strike a stationary surface, and the material is broken into a smaller particle. Attrition. During attrition, the pressure is applied to the material as in the case of compression, but the surfaces are in motion in relation to each other, break the particles into still smaller particles. So first of all, we have ball mill or jar mill. So this mill works in attrition. The ball mill, which is also called as jar mill, consists of a cylindrical container or a jar made up of steel or porcelain. The length of the cylinder is slightly greater than its diameter, which is partially filled with balls made from the same material as that of the cylindrical vessel. The balls act as grinding medium, and if pebbled in place of balls, then the mill is also known as pebble mill, roll mill, or ball mill respectively. In a ball mill, generally the balls are made from steel and are used, which are often the most efficient, but it may produce deterioration or contamination of certain substances. Therefore, balls made of porcelain, flint, nylon, or rubber may be used. And the inner surface of cylindrical vessel is also like material as that of balls. The cylindrical vessel is mounted on a metallic frame, and it rotates horizontally by hand or mechanically. The upper side of the vessel is fitted with tightly closed lid over which the material is introduced. The material to be ground is put, and the mill is rotated at slow speed until the product of desired size is produced. So rotation of the mill at high speed is avoided because at high speed the balls are held against the mill casing by centrifugal force and revolve with the mill on the drug when they reach at the top position. So after an appropriate time, when the material has been reduced, it is taken out from the vessel and passed through a suitable sieve to get the powder of desired particle size. Material is reduced by rolling, sliding and tumbling of the balls on the material to be reduced. The balls used are 2 to 5 cm in diameter. The smaller size balls are more efficient because they produce fine particles. The speed at which the ball mill is rotated is also important. So ball mills are available in many sizes and designs and are also available for batch or continuous production. This is a schematic representation of a ball mill. Moving on to the advantages, they are economical and simple to operate, and they afford a large grinding surface within a compact space. A wide variety of materials can be ground with it, and they are easy to clean as compared to other mills. They can be easily sterilized, therefore they can be used for grinding the materials to be used in parenteral and ophthalmic preparations, and they can be used for wet and dry grinding. Next one is hammer mill. It works on the principle of impact. The hammer mill consists of a steel casing in which a central shaft is enclosed, to which a number of swinging hammers are attached. So when the shaft is rotated, the hammers swing out to a radical position, and on the lower part of the casing, a screen of desired size is fitted, which can be easily replaced according to the particle size required. The construction of a hammer mill is almost similar to that of a disintegrator, with the difference that in hammer mill the hammers are swinging in nature, which are mounted with swivel joints, and in disintegrator the beaters or hammers are fixed. These mills are provided with a fan and a cyclone for collecting the material when it has been reduced to the desired size. The material to be reduced in size is fed through the hopper, which is then supplied to the mill centrifugally and reduced in size by impact of hammers or against the plates along the periphery of the mill casing. The reduced powder passes out through the screen fitted at the lower part of the mill, and the unreduced particles are retained in the mill for further reduction in size, designs and shapes. And in pharmaceutical industry, they are used for grinding dry materials, wet filter cakes, ointments and slurries. And the advantages are they are simple to install and operate, and the operation is continuous. They are rapid in action, and many different types of materials can be ground with them. There are no chance of contamination due to an from the mill because no surface of the mill move against each other. The particle size of the material to be reduced can be easily controlled by changing the speed of the rotor, hammer, type, shape and size of the screen. So next one is edge runner mill. This mill works on the principle of crushing and friction. The edge runner mill is also chaser mill because two heavy wheels made up of steel or granite are mounted vertically on a horizontal shaft, which is made to revolve or chase each other on a steel or granite base. The stones may vary from 0.5 to 2.5 meter in diameter. The large size rollers may weigh up to 6. The wheels are rotated, but sometimes the bed is also made to rotate. The height between the rollers and the base determines the particle size of the material, hence the fineness of the particle can be increased or decreased by adjusting the height. The material to be ground is put on the base of the mill and is kept in the path of runners by scrapers. The particle size is reduced, but is more due to the friction between the rollers and the bedstone. After grinding the material for a specified time, it is taken out of the mill, passed through a suitable sieve, and the coarse material obtained after sieving is again milled for regrinding, or it may be mixed with the material to be ground in the next batch. Although the edge runner mill are being replaced with more sophisticated machines, but still they are used to reduce the particle size of extremely tough and fibrous roots and barks. Next one is it works on the principle of crushing and shearing. Basically, end runner mill is a mechanical pestle and mortar, and it consists of a mortar made of steel or granite. A dome-shaped heavy pestle is made from the same material as that of mortar and it is mounted eccentrically in the mortar through a hinged joint. The mortar is rotated by a mortar and the pestle rotates itself by friction and is free to rise and fall in the mortar. Both the grinding action, that is impact and shear, are produced. Scrapers are attached to the pestle, which ensures that the material is constantly removed from the pestle and returned back to the mortar. At the end of the grinding, the pestle is raised to remove the powdered material to be ground is put in the mortar, which is rotated mechanically. The pestle itself by friction, and the material is crushed and rubbed between the pestle and the rotating mortar. The scrapers remove the sticking material from the pestle and returns back to the mortar for grinding. So at the end of the grinding, the pestle is raised to facilitate emptying and cleaning of the mortar. The ground material is passed through a sieve to get the powder of required particle size. So some of the advantages is that this mill is quite suitable for reducing the particle size of coarse materials. Next one is disintegrator. It works on the principle of impact and grinding. The disintegrator consists of a drum-shaped chamber made of steel. In the chamber, there are 4 steel beaters fixed to a disc through which passes a shaft which rotates at a high speed up to 5000 to 7000 rpm. The lower part of the chamber is fitted with a desired number sieve which can be easily attached or detached. A hooper is attached at the upper surface of the chamber and the drug to be comminuted is fed into the chamber through the hooper, where it is broken by the direct blow of the beaters and by the impact of the material which is thrown with a great force against the surface of the chamber. The reduced particle passes through the sieve of desired size. So some of the advantages are, nowadays the disintegrators have become very popular because they can be used for reducing the particle size of all kinds of materials. But to avoid jamming of the beaters, the drug is moderately small pieces and in dry condition should be used. They are used for powdering crude vegetable drugs and they can be used for milling the ointments and for mixing the powdered ingredients. Next one is bore stone mill. It works on the principle of crushing and shearing. Bore stone mill is known by the name because 2 heavy stones are used in this mill. They are flat in nature and are placed horizontally one above the other with a suitable adjusting device in between them. Both the stones have small furrows on them which helps in grinding the material, and the upper one rotates. So in the center of the upper stone there is a hole through which the material is fed, and to this hole a hooper is attached. The material to be ground is placed in the hooper from where it is supplied in between the 2 stones. Due to the heavy weight of upper stone and friction caused by the surface of the 2 stones, the material is reduced to finer particles. The fineness can be adjusted by adjusting the speed of upper stone and by controlling the quantity of the material supplied in between the stones. The powdered material is collected in a container through the outlet. So the advantages are to making coarse or moderately fine powder, and large quantity of a drug can be powdered at a time. Next one is hand mill. It works on the principle of grinding. Hand mills are used for grinding small quantities of vegetable drugs. A typical example of this type of mill is the hand grinder. The hand mill consists of two cones, out of which one is solid and the other is hollow, the adjacent surfaces of which are toothed or corrugated. So these two cones provide the grinding surface. The solid cone fits into the hollow cone which are attached to a shaft and the material to be ground. So by turning the handle fitted externally, the solid cone revolves, by which the material is grounded into small particles. The gap between the two cones can be adjusted with the help of a thumb screw fitted externally. Next one is colloid mill. It works on the principle of shearing. A colloid mill consists of a conical rotor and a stator. The gap between them can be adjusted from 0.0005 cm. The rotor is connected to a high-speed motor which can revolve at a speed of 3000 to 20,000 rpm. The material to be ground is already ready as fine particles as possible to avoid damage of the colloidal mill. The reduced material is then fed into the machine through a hooper, which is powered by centrifugal action. As the material passes through the narrow gap between the rotor and stator, the size is reduced. The fine particles are collected from outlet in a container. Advantages: products with particle size less than 1 micron can be obtained with colloidal mill. Size reduction is always carried out in presence of a liquid. They are used for preparing pharmaceutical suspensions, emulsions, lotions, ointments and cream. Next. So this mill is based on the simple principle that when two objects strike with each other with sufficient force, one or both of them break into small pieces. Thus, they are broken by interparticular attrition. These mills are also known as jet mills or micronizers, which do not have any moving part. They consist of a hollow grinding chamber, which is fitted with a number of nozzles through which air, steam or inert gas is introduced. A feed inlet is also attached. A bag is fitted which allows the air or gas to escape but does not allow the fine particle to go out. The fine powder is collected in the cyclone collector fitted in the chamber. Pre-grinded material in the form of coarse particles are fed into the grinding chamber. The elastic fluids like air, steam or an inert gas is introduced under very high pressure into the chamber through the nozzles, which causes the material to circulate at high speed. The violent impact between the particles and the walls of the chamber breaks the particles into very small particles. As a result of centrifugal force, the large size particles move to the outer grinding zone where they are further exposed to the attrition action. Fine particles move towards the center of the chamber along with the exhaust gas from where they are collected in a cyclone collector. So fluid energy mills are available in different centimeter to 1 meter diameter, which can grind up to 2000 kg per hour depending on their size and model. So the advantages are these mills do not have any moving part in the grinding area. Since no heat is generated during grinding, they are useful for thermolabile substances like vitamins, enzymes and antibiotics, and for very sensitive materials and inert gas can. There is no abrasion of the mill, so there will be no contamination of the product. It reduces the particle up to 5 microns. So conclusion, size reduction is mainly categorized into manual size reduction, that is by trituration, levitation by intervention, and mechanical size reduction.